My turn.
Got 5 minutes.
I think I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like I just forged ahead and I launched my website and I knew I wanted it to be like something different, and so I had sort of this theme. It was like conscious architecture, and like I guess the whole past year I've just gone through sort of more of a transformation, and so the kind of architecture that I actually want to do I think is still developing. And I mean, I heard on a podcast, because I'm like addicted to podcasts, it's like you learn so much from other people, and having it like right there in your earbuds. They were talking about how it was like a nutritionist, Kelly LeVeque. She was on Lewis Howe's podcast, and she was saying like I really just needed to work with clients for a while to like really, formulate my message and formulate my style and formulate like all these things. And so I feel like I'm in this like teeter-totter of, or the cart before the horse, or I know there's some like
Yeah.
thing I'm trying to say, like I know what I want to do, but I don't have any clients yet to kind of test it out. So I'm trying to decide if I just go forward. I have a project here that was kind of like dropped in my lap, but it's going to take an investment, and it's more of a like development project where I would, find a venture capitalist or a group like us to each put in $100,000 or $200,000 or whatever. But again, it's like just I feel like I need to show what my architectural like style is if I'm going to do architecture. I mean, I have 2 clients right now, and they're signed contracts. We've gone through the first phase of design, and this week actually we're going to move past the first phase of design and start going towards just getting the permits. And I mean, so that's good, but one is a renovation of an older home, and another one is just a really small addition, and it's like it's not what I feel like I want to do ultimately, but it's really good because it's going to pay the bills for now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the bill paying and the experience achieving kind of thing, and getting me back into architecture after being out of it for so long. But I have some properties that, I think while I'm here, I don't need to talk about it on camera, but I want to just run it by you guys, because I know Steven's always talking about let's do something together, let's do an investment together, or let's do something together as a family. And I thought, well, this could be something. And I actually have this project, and I have another project that I actually want to start pitching to other like actual venture capitalist type people, like maybe Gary Vee, but definitely, I have people in mind that I think, like for Abigail, like I need to build her an Olympic training facility. Like that is on my goal for the next like 2 years. And so finding the people to do that, because I know the path that she needs to go on to be in the Olympics, and I want to help her on that path.
Yeah.
And so, and it's also a building and potentially like residential and the fitness coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a $15 million project. And I mean, so I feel like I have all these like big dreams and goals, and I think I'm at the point now where I can start putting it out there and maybe getting investors for it potentially. Like, so the gymnastics thing is one project. This thing is something I think we could do as a family if anyone else wanted to invest in it, or I could do it by myself. Like, no, I would buy the property and then I would build a couple of houses on it and then sell them. Yeah, 1 or 2 at a time or something, and then sell them and just, kind of roll that. So this would give me a feel for my architectural style, and people would see them and connect with them or not connect with them, and just, then and this would be on the residential scale, the other, gymnastics, and Olympic training facility, because we have a kid in our neighborhood who is a fantastic swimmer. And I can see the look in his dad's eye. Like, I know he wants him to go to the Olympics. And I just feel like there's a barrier for people like us to get to the Olympics because it costs a load of money, and it's a path that you have to be on, and so I think if I even try to work in the community and, try to get some kind of like Olympic training facility in our area, that's a totally different direction than this project is.
That
But
would be city, maybe.
Well, have you ever considered barter, trading your services? I mean, if someone's building a new facility, just say, I will be your architect, and my children will have lifetime
We'll
privileges.
talk to
that-
the city
Yeah.
and actually
Yeah.
do something.
right, well, the
Project with
city's
the
building, like Canton is building a $600 million like Hall of Fame village. And they're putting in a new Hall of Fame stadium with like a convention center and shopping and all sorts of stuff. And I feel like this is similar but different. It's Olympic based, and in 2024, which would be the first Olympics that Abby could compete in, we'll find out actually in September if Los Angeles gets the 2024 Olympics. So I almost feel like there's a potential of just really, engaging and igniting a passion for the USA and the Olympics program, and there's just a lot of huge things in play in that. But I mean, those are sort of my two focuses right now, and I feel like my two current architectural projects are funding me to do these kind of spec projects and fly to California to meet with somebody potentially that might want to invest in an Olympic training facility in Ohio. I don't know.
So on these properties, you said they were on the outskirts of development.
Yeah, there's a development that the guy, the development itself is a community for basically like communing with nature. It's a transcendental meditation community that they're trying to create, and the Vedic architecture is a requirement for all the houses in this development.
Is that your style?
No, that's the style that I was referring to. It's like the feng shui of architecture.
Oh, okay.
So there's a development that's getting that, which is people really need to subscribe to the idea of this. I mean, it's expensive, it's very specific. I feel like I would be on the outskirts. There's about 10 different properties on the outskirts of this community that I would be doing. And
Would it be like a gate?
it's not
down
gated.
and
No,
10
it's actually,
on the other
it's
side, or is it-
interspersed. It's like across the street. It's like
So
right
it's
here
all
on the
near
north.
neighborhoods and
Yeah, it's
stuff,
like, it's
all-
on the north side, because in Vedic architecture, you can't build on the north side of the lake. So the north side properties of the lake are included in this package.
Okay.
I feel like there's so many like beach trendy things going on right now where that would literally be like on the brink of explosion.
Right.
Like
All those
like,
YouTubers and stuff that make millions of dollars but want to buy a house. But they're
No. I'm just saying like the
No,
whole
the
like
consciousness.
hippie uptown buying, Toyota hybrids and this kind of stuff. Like it's
Tesla, yeah.
yes,
Green,
it's
yeah, going
it's-
green.
a
Green
fad.
building
It
and.
And
sounds
it's-
like it's more than that, though.
Oh God, yeah,
Or
it's like
This
it's-
is-
that is. But I'm just saying that's a lot of times I feel like that's what's
designed with
appeal to.
nature, it sounds
like
right?
people that are
With like the
focused
sun.
on realistic
Right.
That's
things.
why they're not on the north side, because of how the sun comes up
Yeah, you
and
don't
goes
want-
down.
Back to the like feng shui stuff. It's all about how it
feeling.
feels and what it actually does to your persona.
Right.
But
And they have one house in the development that's $750,000, and it's LEED Platinum, which is the environmental standard for, basically for the the US and almost for the world. So they have one, like, that will be the model home that is kind of setting the standard for their community.
Yeah.
But I feel like the properties that I build wouldn't have to be that standard, but they would feel close enough like them.
Yeah,
And
it's,
I am connecting more with, you know, the spiritual nature of it. And
Yeah.
so, you know, there's just, it's appealing to me, and I feel like the developer met with me and was like, here's the deal. We're gonna offload these to a builder if we can, but if you want them, you just let me know.
Yeah.
And he gave me all this information and showed, you know, and so I'm like, it's not that much money, and it's like 10 properties, and 2 of the properties, they're retailing for $300,000. So to pay $400,000 and get like 8 more properties, and they're all on the lake, and I mean, it's just, it's a good situation, but it's just like,
So all 8 for 400,000?
mhm.
No, I thought you were talking 400,000 for one lot.
no, he's
I was like
wholesale
300,000
them.
for one
No.
when they're sold, but.
Right, so he's
Yeah.
basically saying
I
they
thought
they weren't
they-
able to sell them for retail, they wanna focus on the community they're trying to actually invest in, not these outlots that they just got thrown in. So,
I'll take one.
Who's?
yeah.
No, but
really
that's, I mean, obviously, if,
Or again, I'll take one.
20, there's some for 20 and 30.
Well,
Can
my
you buy them
first-
individually?
I can, and he'll let me buy any of them or one of
Well,
them,
maybe
Of
that's
course.
where we should start, as a 2 of them, you know.
but then they're just gonna sell the rest of
Yeah,
them.
they're not.
Yeah.
So,
I know,
I mean,
but-
that's fine.
That
But-
doesn't mean you're not still in the community, and it would still, you'd still have your homes there.
Yeah, and that's how
I think
this,
8 or 10 is overkill. I think that's probably a little too much
right,
to start with.
Your camera shut off.
that's fine.
But,
The
yeah,
other
I
one's still
think-
going.
I think buying a couple of them, and we can all put in 10 grand, and then another 20 grand to build a house, and then go from there. Would be a
that's-
lot more feasible.
That's where it started. Like, I met with him in March, and I was looking at one of the properties to build a spec home on.
Yeah.
And I've just talked to him over the months, and he's like, listen, we're tired of trying to sell off these outlots. We're gonna offload them to a realtor, so this is your last chance to buy any of them. I mean, he didn't even really probably consider that I would consider buying all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just
I would
go
absolutely
big
be down.
because that's.
Yeah, I know, I understand that, but I think, in my opinion, I think buying a couple of them would be the best start. Building one home on it, and then using that money to build the second home, maybe even a little bigger and better, and then from there, you can go and, you know, do the same thing elsewhere. Anybody else got thoughts on it?
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
ahead.
No waiting.
Go ahead, Steve. I see no hands up in the air.
Cause the hand
It was like 4
He
times.
had his hand up a little,
Can you
a
get
little
back-
while there.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a high five.
No, I just, what I was thinking realistically is like, what is your style?
I've only ever worked for clients with a very restricted budget and a restricted type of project. So if they come in with an existing house that just needs an addition, well, I can't do whatever the heck
That's
I
stupid.
want.
Yeah, you
Can't
might as
change.
well hire a builder for an addition. You don't hire an architect for an addition, in my mind.
You
Right,
have to.
because
Well,
people typically
like-
don't want to pay fees for
No.
an architects, but that's where I reduce my fees, like if I have, so
Yeah.
that I could get a couple of projects and like just refresh some of my skills.
But the builder has an architect anyway.
No.
Most
No,
of
the
time.
builder has the ability to do drafting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where the whole architectural industry has been, you know, just like every other industry has been affected by the internet and
Yeah.
by people that think they could do it just
Google.
good themselves and
Yeah.
Google. I mean,
Sketch it.
yeah.
So we're
So,
starting to take it.
and that's fine. If you just want an addition and you want it to look like the rest of your house, like,
Of the community.
But what I'm trying to
Right.
say is, where can somebody like realistically invest in you with nothing.
Right, they
Like,
don't know what my style is.
Yes, I want to know what your style is.
And that's
Like,
why
I want to, like, if we're
That's why
all
you
thinking
start
about
with one or
investing,
two.
I want to see something. You know, show us
So do
drawings or show us
Drawings,
something.
yeah.
Do I make?
At least, you
do I
know.
just start sketching
Yes.
ideas and putting them on Instagram?
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Like,
I think
duh,
that's-
throw them out there.
I think that's an awesome idea.
But, you know, with
Yes.
your name on every single print of
I
everything.
know. I mean, and
but
that's part of the like.
people
I don't
stealing
know.
your shit. Yeah.
Right, but you
Like,
still.
but
Right.
seriously.
I think you
I mean,
should have some sketches out
What
there.
I
Definitely.
consistently think is like, I know you're amazing, but I've never seen anything you've ever done.
I
Because
saw
all
one
the stuff
sketch
you did was like huge,
years
like
ago.
hospitals and stuff like that, which wouldn't mean anything to me.
Right.
You know,
Unless
I
you
don't
like
care.
your-
Well, and
like
that's the
hospital.
thing is like they. That's it. That's the cart before the horse. Like, how do
Yeah.
I get clients without having a
Portfolio.
style?
You need a portfolio. Just like
Yeah,
You
If any-
need
Right,
to create.
Right, like I need to start
any art.
over.
Yes.
Like I'm fresh out of college. I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm starting over.
you just
Like
like a
hands.
photographer would with pictures, you need your designs.
David.
My good friend Hans is an industrial designer,
Yep.
and so he is in that artistic kind of industry, and his like baby is his portfolio of all the stuff he's designed and the kind of his style of design. I think that's would be like my first step is to just design a house and have some kind of 3D rendering so you could show people the inside of the house and kind of what it's like and then you could get people's opinions, and if everybody's like, oh, that's weird, then change it.
And you can sell that house. You can sell that drawing that you do.
Seriously.
So has his stuff been built or is it
No.
just renderings?
Oh, but
Well, kind of both.
Mostly
I
like
know what
ideas.
he's talking about, but I
Right.
saw his deal where it's like he's got like even like a chair, like a cool chair that you can like disassemble and do this or whatever, you know. He's at least putting something out there for some
Right.
people need to see things,
I mean,
or
whether-
feel things, or like
Right.
Whether
understand things. I can't just be like, Amy, I love you, you're great.
Right, and I
Build me a house.
I can't
Yeah.
believe
Like
this
I want to
hasn't
see
come
your,
up before.
I want to see all
Yeah,
of your
progress.
other houses. If you don't have any other houses, at least give me like
Well, and
Well, unless
some
you're
of
gonna
the
do
ten
it
process,
to 50 ideas of houses.
right, and some of the
Or,
process
like-
is working with them. Like, yeah,
But you still need your.
I would like my take on it.
You have to have. You have to have.
And then they can say, well,
A
I like
graph,
this, but I don't
like,
like that.
you know?
And then you can change it.
but how
as
many
they
like
want.
Frank
Lloyd Wright.
Lloyd Wright houses have you seen that you didn't realize was one of it? You don't, because they all are his.
Right,
This is
it has more of
his.
the
Like
authentic
yes,
style.
and then you see it and you're like, bam.
yeah, even if it's not a feasible design.
Right.
Like there's
it's
so many
just-
things that
it's
Hans
a
designed
creative idea.
that it would never make sense to actually make because it just doesn't make sense manufacturing. You could make these renderings and drawings and stuff of houses that may not even
It's
be
spring ideas.
doable.
Right, but
But-
maybe like a piece of
but-
it is like a genius idea.
Yeah, if somebody looks at this and like, I'd like you to build me a house, and I really like this front entrance. You can put that on my house.
Yeah.
And have to just
And they
like,
go
Yeah, I
through
don't
the
like all of
portfolio
it,
and say, oh,
but-
I love this and
Yeah.
that. And
Yes, love it, Dad.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, you're probably not in a position to do pro bono or.
I am.
Well-
I don't need money. I don't need money. I just want to do creative work.
next one else.
Oh my
Well,
shit.
my point though is, I mean, if you find someone that has the money,
Mhm.
a lot of people that have money are cheap, okay?
That is so true.
If they say, okay, yeah, go for it, be creative, build me a home, whatever. Because people want to see the layouts, but they also want to say, show me a building, you know, I mean, show me something that
You've got-
you designed that is
if you haven't
done.
built something, you need to have drawings.
And two ways to do that, number one is to build it yourself,
Right.
or find somebody that builds houses all the time, says, yeah, I'll throw $1 million at this, and, you know,
Yeah.
but,
All right. I got you.
but
Yeah.
even to find someone like that, you have to have some drawings. And
I think as far as that goes,
Wow.
for the price, I think you should at least grab a lot or two of it, even if you're gonna sit on it for a few years.
Right.
just to get it, and I'd be willing to go on it. And I don't know about everybody else. I'm
But
sure.
is it an up and coming area? Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to, look at it, but
Mhm.
and the plot and how close it is.
It's
certain
like
things.
it's like one of the last areas in Jackson, and I do have
So it's
another
full
lot that I'm
everywhere
looking
else.
at. Yeah, I mean it's definitely filling up. It's definitely becoming like, more of the place to be, and I mean, but
Does it have trees?
yeah,
But
That'd be schools.
but so like
Yes.
just the
Is it
whole
lakefront or
Yes.
just? It's
All
like
of
a
the
whole.
above.
but like the whole
Uh-huh.
feng shui thing is just not hitting off. They're
Right.
obviously not
It's
able
been
to
like
sell it.
10 years that they've tried to, and it's really like they're just only connecting to like their one friend, but
Yeah.
it's such a high dollar like entry for these type of homes.
Yeah.
You
Very
can't.
rich.
Right, but it's like if they're gonna have like $500,000 homes in this neighborhood, it's not gonna hurt being across the street or on the north side of the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, and so like there's an across the street and there's a north side of the lake and there's a behind that's on the north side, and then there's like a little fishing lot, and then there's a whole end of a block that is ready for 6 units. I mean, like it's a builder's dream,
Yeah.
and I'd hate to see a builder with these terrible cookie cutter houses putting them there because
Well, there aren't that many lakes where you are, right?
not
Like,
so
we
many.
went to
There's
that
like 4 or
one.
5 and
How many
can't.
Yeah.
acres is the lake?
Well,
Like,
it's
is it a
it's
good
a
lake?
smaller
The
lake.
boating lake.
It's more of a no wake lake,
Okay.
but there's
A couple hundred
a
acres,
big
something.
lake next to it.
Like nice?
Huh?
Like nice?
Yeah, I think so.
Other
Like
numbers.
Little Balsam?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple
It's
of
definitely a good opportunity.
different things.
Well,
I'm like,
but-
I feel like I need to at least buy one, do my spec house maybe, because
You could, but why do you have to do it there? Just because the price is good?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
they're
price
selling it at
front,
like
yeah.
60 cents on the dollar.
Lakefront for 20.
And the
grand
lakefront
for-
properties aren't
That's a key
aren't
to
necessarily
theirs.
the ones I would want to buy because you have to do pilings and all this other like.
No.
I mean, like the
Yeah,
house
all your
has to be like
restrictions.
$500,000 by the time you put all the structural things in, and
Yeah.
but like the one right behind it, and then the ones right across the street. Like
Easy,
I
but,
could
yeah.
easily buy 4 of the lots, like. But he's like, if you buy them all, or if you buy multiple, we'll give you more of a discount. I mean, he's like, just wholesale prices.
Why should you go in free?
Buy 2,
God,
get one free.
That's scary though, man. That's like
There's
We're not
nothing
talking like-
scary about
What?
buying land, dude.
Well,
no,
What's
I'm not
scary?
buying land. I'm just saying like $400,000 investment.
Yeah, maybe you're.
Well,
the
these-
numbers you're talking are
That's
scary.
for all of them. If you just
Oh.
do
I would say a couple of them.
These
you spend
4,
40,
they're
50 grand.
Wow.
yeah, maybe 100 with the 2 at the end are half-acre lots and
2 half-acre.
full
Nice.
wooded lots and so anyway, but I don't know.
You want to split the video or?
Bye.